Hey everyone, so these are our sanding tools. Now while I do have a variety of sanding tools, we have 4 of them in the shop. They all operate very similarly, so we'll go through and we'll talk about the key functions of each one, and we're all going to group them. We're going to group them all together as a single video. They're referred to as the floor sanders because they're the sanders that sit on the floor. I do have hand sanding devices that you can pull out of the lockers, and they have their own video. So if we look at this one, this is called the spindle sander. They're all going to have this red power button that you just turn on and off. Now, they all work on the same principle. They have an abrasive paper on them, and that abrasive paper in this case spins up and down. Some of them are on a belt and some of them are on wheels. The most important thing to understand when you're using the sanders is keep your thoughts and your eyes on your work. Why? Because I don't want you sanding the tops of your fingers off. This is the tool where people injure themselves because they're not thinking. So focus on the task at hand. Secondly, when you are sanding something, I need you to use 2 hands and strong pressure. And if that piece is too small, don't sand it on a tool in this room. Sand it by hand, because again, a small piece gets your little soft fingers in close contact with a very strong and powerful machine. And yes, I do have students fairly regularly fail to pay attention and listen to my warning, and they do end up sanding parts of their fingers. And you don't want to have a sanded finger because you can't put a Band-Aid on that, because all of your nerves are losing their minds because they've been sanded off. So it's not fun. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the safety features in general of these tools and some things to think about. In this case, we'll be talking about the spindle sander, the belt sander, and this is our horizontal belt sander, this is our vertical belt sander, and our disc sanders. We'll be talking about this disc sander. Now, I want you to first come and look at this belt sander right here. You'll notice that this is torn. I left this on so you can see what a torn belt looks like. If this happens, turn it off. Find Mr. Schroeder. I will fix it. You don't need to try and make any repairs. If you find that the belt is not running correctly, maybe it's wobbly or it's off on an angle, you don't need to adjust anything. Turn it off, come find me. Looking over here at the horizontal belt sander, you'll notice that there is a guard. This is a fence. Your work must always be firmly against the fence and down. And remember, if you are holding work on here, 2 strong hands. You don't need to adjust, and you should not adjust anything on this tool except to turn the power on or to turn it off. Now, any tool in this room that is connected to one of these lines, one of these hoses here, requires this vacuum to be on. And when you're sanding, always remember to have the wall switch, that's the red one when you walk in, the wall switch on, and this green button on, and make sure your ears are on because it gets loud in here. Otherwise, this place becomes a dusty mess. Now, let's come over here to this tool. We'll do a little sanding with this piece here. We turn it on, and there are 2 sides of the wheel that you can work with here. Based on the rotation of the wheel, and all wheels rotate to the left, you have a right side and a wrong side. The right side is the left side, the downward rotation. The wrong side is the right side. Hear that? The wrong side is the right side? But it's true, the wrong side is the right side, and the upward rotation. Because if you put it over here, it's going to want to get carried over. If you put it over here, the tool forces it down onto the table, and that's what you want. So you sand, do your sanding. Very satisfying thing. My daughter's always saying that things are satisfying. This is a very satisfying tool. I'll give her that. Now, when you turn the tool off, you must wait until the tool turns off fully. Why? Frankly, you don't want someone else walking up and bumping into this thing, sanding their fingers or their elbow or whatever. This tool has a little brake. That'll stop it. Now, if you walk up to a tool and you see that there are frayed edges, little frays like this, not a problem. Go ahead and use it. Big frays, don't use it. Come see me, I'll change it out, we'll fix it. Might be a little inconvenient for you, but it's better than having the whole tool come apart in your hand. If you have any questions about the use of any of these floor tools, how do I use them? When should I use them? Is the paper right? Is the grit right? Anything, please ask me. Remember, only use a tool that you're comfortable and confident with. And if you have any questions, or if you'd like me just to be present while you're using the tool to make sure that you're using it in the best and safest way possible, that's literally and actually what I get paid for. Okay, thanks. Good.